Edward, the first time you read the book, what did you think about it?
Well, the biggest problem with most people, Rose, is that it's always there. I mean, I've read the book so many times in the last few years, and again, we repeat it and we see it, we share it with people.
That's right.
But it's just difficult for people to be able to realize that paying yourself is one of the most important things in life, right? Because when I started my business long time ago, 36 ago, it was the same thing. What we do is that we pay 20% to management, 20% to the shareholders, and 60% reinvested, so that we took advantage of the power of compounding. So people has to understand those basic rules.
Yes.
That you need to pay yourself. So because if you continue to build your business and put all your money there, and then one day if something happens, then you don't have enough money for yourself, right? So what we did was the formula was a 20-20-60, and I've shared that with so many people whenever I give a talk on entrepreneurship, that you need to pay yourself, you need to pay your people well, you need to pay yourself well so that you have money on the individual basis. And then 60% you just compound it, and that's how it is today. And when we started at 36 years old, it was 50,000 pesos each. That's how the money, the power of compounding.
Yeah, so you also saw the importance of really saying it in the simplest way possible.
It has to be the simplest way.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier about telling mystery driver.
That's right. When I read this book early this morning, and of course I've read the original book.
Okay.
And of course it was you have to read it 2 or 3 times before you can. It's more heavy, right? But what you did was very good. You simplified the whole thing. That's why I remember this morning I just texted you, okay, I need 200 books. It's really just to be able to share that with our people so that they'll understand how it is. In fact, that's the same thing as what happened to my driver. I was explaining to him, and I was trying to emphasize that because I forced him to do the initial investing way back in 2011. And just 2,000 pesos, 1, 2 to 3 every month, just continuous because it's like an investment program with some even good companies, quality companies. But of course, there is an advantage because we're in this business now.
Yes,
so, so we understand.
That's why you are my algamish. You are my top delivery.
So what we did was whenever it reached a target price, we sell it and then we switch it to another undervalued stock. And luckily was able to have that habit already. Initially it was, of course, hesitation is there because in fact I tell this story all the time that the first month he did it, second, third month hindi na dumating. Kasi syempre kulang daw, it's like so that's and they'll find excuse, all the reasons. So I said, parang kulang yan. Sabi niya kasi the weekend, kasi wala siyang trabaho sa weekend, so he needs to go to the mall, whatever, so he spends it. So what I did was, kinakasama yung 100 pesos niya every day. So eventually he saves the 2,000, then I put the necessary 2,000. So I created, once he sees it and see it's growing, wala na, don't have to do anything. Every month he will knock on my door, boss, nag-deposit na ako, yung equivalent natin for his retirement.
You're able to create the habit in
That's right. It's the importance really, the habit, the discipline, and then they need to see it themselves. And then I was explaining that from your book kanina, so I said, okay, so kailangan, you have to understand that kung may pera ka na, hindi mo pwedeng gastusin yan, di ba? Kasi kung may pera na, gagastos siya just to make himself happy, di ba?
You have to remind him of the third law.
The third law, that's right. Kailangan maintindihan mo yan, yung third law. Now, in order for you to achieve your long-term goal, which is financial independence, that you don't need to be my driver anymore, kailangan huwag mong ibebenta yan, huwag mong gagastusin yan. So reinvest it so that you can benefit from the power of compounding.
That's right.
So it's really very good. That's why I said, okay, bili mo ng 200 books. Ito na yan. Because you can give it away to our people, di ba? So that they can see it, especially this working class, they really need to know that they have to force themselves to save.
And then introducing it at a very early age is
That's
also
right.
very
That's right.
important.
Because
So that there are no more bad habits to unlearn later on.
That's right. And it's what you call time.
Yes, and talking about childhood, would you like to share with us your own childhood money memory?
If you were older and I would have read your book, then it would have been easier. Most of the the values that we have today, and I share that with I think Edric also, is that I was loved unconditional by my parents because I was I was always happy-go-lucky because only boy, it was very simple. But then, so it was very difficult for me to finish my school because, siyempre, di ba, spoiled. But really, what is really critical is that the values was given to us at a very early age. And understanding how money works, wherein you need to save and invest it. Because in savings, of course, you and I know that it's not enough anymore. It's not. So investing is the most critical. So like I said a while ago, is that I started saving and investing into more some passive investing way back, and of course, so that somebody's working for us indirectly, right? So I was explaining that same thing with my driver a while ago, that you don't have to worry about where your money is going. Your money is going to investing into the top 5 families or the top 10 companies in the Philippines, and you're a part owner of it. So small, when I was a young kid, not enough money story to talk about.
Who was your alchemist? Who was your mentor in terms of money?
Definitely it was my father. My father spent a lot of time with me.
What was his business?
He's a salesman.
Okay.
Shirt factory.
So that's where you get the genes, huh?
Selling, that's right. We're salespeople.
Yes.
And he would always tell me, because I don't like school, so he would always advise me that, son, you're not stupid, right? You basically just don't like school, maybe just study a cup of tea. But what I can share with you is this. If your friends spend an hour and you need to spend 3 hours, you can do it also. So that was, I remember that very clearly, and at breakfast, he will always remind me, never beaten me in all his life. Really was all about encouraging, even though I didn't like school, I get kicked out, all these other things. Never.
But that's a realization of Albert at the start. He said that I'm not born into a rich family, I'm not
intelligent,
excellent, anything. So I knew I had to work doubly hard.
That's right. So that's what we do. So when I started working, I spent a lot of time really in my work, and then eventually, of course, understand how financial market works really helps.
Yeah, but as far as the seeds are concerned, it's really your father also who was like a mentor to you.
That's right.
In imparting that what they do with one arm, maybe you triple it and then you become better than them eventually.
That's right.
And
so,
of course the unconditional love.
That's which is, I think, the most important. You have to spend a lot of time with your children. And like me, for example, with my children today, it's the same thing. They're all trying to help me in the business, help their own. It's not helping me anymore, it's helping themselves already. That they have to take care of themselves and then take care of their family. That's their responsibility. It's not my responsibility anymore to. So one generation at a time, and then we encourage them to be responsible, so that they're just waiting for the fruits. But they have to work hard.
How early did you start your children?
Very early. It's just like for example, Lawrence has been doing this for
How old is Lawrence now?
He's 32.
Okay.
So he started at the age of 22, and so for almost 9-10 years now. So then, of course, the youngest now, Edmond, is trying to build a school to do the same thing, to educate on for more global markets. So I'm happy, even though there are only 10 or 12 students, but it's okay. At least for a start. Yes, it's a start, and at least they understand that money is difficult to be made. So when you're building a business at an initial stage, it will take a lot of time, effort, and as long as you provide the best content, helping your students to do well, then it's a miracle of compounding always. It's like our business, the same thing with COL. It took us a long time to be able to be where we are today. In fact, I was surprised, 15 years na pala kami dito.
The start, it was really educating the people,
yes.
And now you're reaping the rewards.
I think still a long way to go, right?
Which makes it more interesting.
It's
exciting.
Always the journey.
The journey, yeah.
Yes, always a journey.
The end goal is just there to act as your catalyst. It's your catalyst to.
Yes. It's always the purpose in life. We have a purpose in life to educate as many Filipinos as possible. And eventually maybe the world, but initially we have a role to play because we're here. We have to love our country. We have to help small people basically get educated. Understand what your book was doing is really fantastic because it's really to the ground level already.
Yes.
if they can't understand it, I don't know.
Hindi ko na alam.
Hindi ko na alam ang gagawin natin. No? I think that's what it is. No?
Yes.
So excited din ako na at least you simplified it because I gave a lot of people on the book of Rich Man of Babylon, but if you don't really try to read it several times, you can't see it.
Yes.
Diba? As usually in most books, it's all there.
Mhm.
It's just whether you're ready to receive it. Diba?
Yeah.
And these are reminders, so I think it's going to be good for us.
How long have you been in the market? I mean,
For 1973, so 41 years.
Okay, so
The market
for 4
already.
decades. And I actually consider you as one of those, the pillars already in stock investing. Knowing what you know now, what do you think? If somebody were to ask you, Edward, can you try to help me solve the poverty in the country? What would be like the top 3 things that you would like to do?
I think I'll just follow the book.
First one, second one, third one.
So 1, 2, 3 na yan, no?
There you go, Pete.
Yeah. So I think this is really exciting. I think the book is really very simple, and that's exactly what it is. Hard work is always there. A lot of people wake up early in the morning to go to work, but if they're not financially literate, I think they will be working all their lives. And the sad part about it is that
And not by choice. Not by choice. Because you can be working all your life because you love to.
That's right.
Even if you're as rich
That's
as
right,
you are.
that's right. So the choices are there. And the sad part about all this, I think, Rose, you have to remind a lot of people who are doing very well that they really also have to read this book and understand it.
Mhm.
Because how can a lot of people does very well, but don't have that mindset of investing.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
after a while, when they grow old and they say, my God, what happened to me? I have a lot of money,
I've
but
earned a lot,
I
yeah.
earned a lot, but never being able to be financial literate or understand how it's really done. Because a lot of them, maybe during their early years, careers have done well, but they don't know how to save and invest.
Mhm.
And really sad that because eventually, if they retire, they get their money, they don't know where to put it. They put it in another investment which they think they know,
Mhm.
right? Which rule number 2,
Mhm.
right? The law of number 2, and that's really dangerous. The worst is having money and don't know where to put it.
Correct.
That's even more dangerous,
Yes.
right? And if they spend it and get old, they depend on all their children to. And I
And it's a
hope
vicious
it's there.
cycle that goes on.
And I hope it's there, right? Because we work with a lot of how do you say, retirement, abandoned elders, which before are principals,
That's right. Very sad.
teachers, and they were abandoned because their medical bills is just so high that the children wouldn't touch them. So I think these are things that really has to be reminded from time to always.
The investor mindset.
That's right. It has to be.
Okay.
It has to be. In fact, I was just in the restaurant a while ago. I talked to one of the head banquet manager, and she's going to Indonesia, and she wanted to know how this is done. I said, "It's so simple." So I spent 10 minutes with him, 10 minutes with her. I said, "Read this book." It was simple, really simple.
No, 1, 2, 3.
Simple lang talaga. In-explain ko lang sa kanya. I just see your principal lang. And then they're happy. I said, oh my God, I'm going to go to COL now. No. Don't go to COL. Just download, go to our website, and just do an online application. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. So it's good. It's just congratulations. I think this book
Thank
will
you
do
very
well.
much. Yeah. Do you have any parting words?
Well, I think the most important thing in life is really, number 1, family.
Mm-hmm.
Love your children unconditionally because I'm a product of that. And you teach your children the values, the importance of values. And of course, know how to invest.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.